Very, very proud of our history. And if you're about here in London tomorrow, we have a very old rowing race. The River Thames will be closed from 12 o'clock noon. And all the young apprentices, there is 6 of them, they will race from London Bridge to Chelsea. Over 4.5 miles, they will be testing their skills in fine racing boats. If you are here in London, please come down to the river. It's a really, really old race. We go here to the left and we have the white building with the green sloped roof. And that is the old City of London School for Boys. Now it has been left money since 1441 to educate the boys of London. Look very closely on the front of the building and you can see 4 engraved statues. From left to right they are of John Milton, Francis Bacon, Isaac Newton and William Shakespeare, and they are arguably some of this country's finest scholars. The building is now owned by the very wealthy American bank J.P. Morgan. The bridges are Blackfriars. First a road bridge opened in 1869 by Queen Victoria. As we come beneath the 2 bridges, look left and right of the boats, and you can see these 8 red columns. Now these red columns were the first foundation pillars of the old Alexander Railway Bridge, built in 1864 by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. The top of the bridge was taken down in the 1980s due to the heavy modern day trains. And the last bridge is the rail bridge, undergoing a lot of work. They are strengthening and widening it, all in preparation for the Olympic Games. And as you can see, they are running a little bit behind schedule. So they may make the one in Rio. And this also marks halfway, ladies and gentlemen. So how are we all doing? Is anybody enjoying the commentary? Yes? Okay. What about you in the front here? Can you understand a little bit? Fantastic, okay. Well, it's really good, okay, folks. I can see people here that have got a bit of words. If I speak slow enough, hopefully you can relate to what I'm talking about. So we look over here to the left, folks. St. Paul's Cathedral. Built by the architect Sir Christopher Wren, it took him 35 years to complete. Finally, in 1710. The dome on the roof is the second largest unsupported cathedral dome anywhere in the world. The first being at St. Peter's in the Vatican City of Rome. We go through the Millennium Footbridge, it takes us here to the right. And we have the white building with the thatched roof. William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre. The only building in London to be made of wooden thatch since the Great Fire of 1666. The red flag you see flying there indicates a play will be in session today. And this year is the first year that they will reenact all of Shakespeare's 38 different plays and sonnets in 38 different languages. I looked on the internet before I came to work this morning and they are reenacting A Midsummer Night's Dream today. All along the area to our right, the area of Bankside. This back in Elizabethan London would have been your entertainment district. You'd have had all your illegal gambling den, gym palaces and raw animal sports. And lots of theatres. And if you're thinking about having a few glasses of beer whilst here in London, you may want to go here to the right. The Anchor Tavern at Bankside. It's one of the oldest pubs to span the River Thames, and it was placed here in the year 1615. Samuel Pepys, the famous British diarist, Dr. Johnson, Marlowe and Shakespeare, they all frequented this establishment. As we come through the bridge, we keep our attention to the right, and we have London's very own pirate ship, Sir Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hind. Drake was the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe back in 1580. It is now run by the National Geographical Society. The bridge is London Bridge. and it's not to be confused with Tower Bridge. The name is engraved into the stonework of the bridge. It is the fourth London bridge to span this site, since the first one was built by the Romans back in 49 AD. The most famous of all the bridges was the medieval London Bridge. It spanned this site from the year 1209 for nearly 700 years. That is the bridge which fell down. The new London Bridge was placed here in 1973 and it was opened by Her Majesty the Queen. We look here to the right and we have the tallest building in Western Europe. It is called the Shard. Now it stands at 310 metres tall. Luxury living quarters, office spaces and the Shangri-La Hotel. Designed by the Italian architects Renzo. Now ladies and gentlemen, you may be interested. See these people climbing on the side there? These are actually protesting. We heard it on the radio on the way up. They're from Greenwich and they're protesting about global warming. And they're hanging on the side of the building here and the police are pondering how to get them down. You may think I'm joking, folks. I'm being very, very serious. Protesters. There we go. We look to the right and we have the grey warship, the HMS Belfast. Built in Belfast, Northern Ireland in 1938. And the Harland and Wolff shipyards. The same shipyard was Now she saw action in the Second World War and is now permanently moored here as a floating museum and a mark to British sea power. You can go aboard the ship, 9 decks to explore, and children under the age of 16 go for free. Now I have a little daughter and she is 10 years old. And I took her on board the Belfast. She's only got little legs. It took us about 3 hours around the ship and she came off. She was absolutely worn out. And it was the best night's sleep I've had in a very long time. So if you've got children, then Belfast is definitely the place for you. We've just got a little bit of traffic coming down behind us, folks, so you can see the captain has slowed the boat. We look here to the right and we have the building made of glass. It is designed to look like a motorcyclist's crash helmet. And this is the London Assembly. 12 years ago we elected a mayor. His name was Ken Livingstone. Now the first thing that Ken did, he spent £54 million of Londoners' taxes on a new office. It wasn't all bad, he kept £2 million back for the name. They put it out to a marketing company. 2 years later they came back with the wonderful name City Hall. And that's where your taxing phone's over there. It's now home to that man with the mad yellow hair, Boris the Blonde. We're going to turn the boat now, and as we do so, we have the Tower Road Bridge, the gateway to London. It was opened on June the 30th, 1894. It was built in the Gothic style to blend in with its near neighbour, the Tower of London. Now this bridge really is one of a kind, a part suspension bridge and a part bascule. The bascules are the centrepieces in the middle. They can be risen in an upright position to let larger shipping into the upper pool of London. As I say, the bridge was built to blend in with the building ahead of us, soon to be on the right. We have the Tower of London. It was built in the year 1078 and there is over 900 years of English and French history, most of which is very gruesome. The tower has been used as many different places, but today it houses the world famous Crown Jewels, and they are guarded by the 37 yeoman warders, the Beefeaters to unite. So there we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Very shortly we are going to land you safely alongside Tower Pier. At this point of the journey, ladies and gentlemen, I would have to ask you very kindly to remain seated. The reason for this is we do get a lot of wash from the passing fast ferries, and we would not like to see anybody falling and hurt themselves. Of course, if you haven't understood a word I've said for the last 20 minutes, then you just carry on doing whatever you're doing. Most people are sitting down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the very important part now is the journey information. We would hate to see anybody going in the wrong direction. If anybody would like to go to Greenwich, stay on board this boat. If anybody would like the short cruise going back to Big Ben or the London Eye, change boats here and go to boarding point 2. The last word is a very quick word. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your very kind attention. A big thank you for the children, and of course the people who may not have understood me. It must be extremely difficult listening to an Englishman speaking in a strange language. But I did apologise when I first started talking that I do only speak one language. I try and speak slowly and clearly, lots of pointing, and hopefully you enjoyed the commentary. As I said before, folks, there is no official or multilingual guides aboard the boat. And on board this boat, myself and my colleague here, we feel it's a little bit of a shame that you come to London, you go on a boat ride, and nobody picks up the mic and points out a few of the basic points. So what we do, folks, we learn a little bit of history, we do a bit of research, and we're more than happy to pass on a bit of our own local knowledge. Now, if you did enjoy the commentary, folks, and you did appreciate it, we do have a very old custom. And that is that if you did enjoy the commentary, you're more than welcome to show a little bit of voluntary appreciation when leaving the boat. I'll be the exit helping you safely ashore, and you're more than welcome to throw in a few bob into the old ship's bucket. Now, don't worry if you don't know what a few bob is. We do now take American Express, Traveller's Checks, and of course the good old pounds. And it is only your generosity that keeps this service going. I'd like to thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Have a lovely, safe onward bound journey, and a very, very good morning to you all. Have a lovely day, folks. All the best.
Ладно, кинем мы тебе few bombs. Nice. Ну вот это оттенок кухни, переделанный для нас, но не то чтобы совсем. Очень замечательно, что мы это услышали. Ну вот мы приплыли в Тауэр, видим весь. Ну ладно, вроде солнце вышло,